Einstein said if you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it. He was right, and here's why you're failing at it. You just finished explaining your idea to the room. You covered every detail, handled every edge case, answered questions before they were even asked. And then someone says, "So, what exactly are we doing?" That silence hits different. But the problem was never the idea itself. It was how you delivered it. Today, I'm walking you through a framework that turns any complex idea into something anyone can understand in under 2 minutes. There's a famous experiment from Stanford where one person taps a song on a table while another person tries to guess it. The tappers predicted listeners would guess right about half the time. The actual success rate? 3%. That's the curse of knowledge. Once you understand something deeply, you physically cannot remember what it felt like to not understand it. Every time you explain a concept using jargon, acronyms, or insider shorthand, you're tapping a song only you can hear. Your audience is sitting there, hearing random noise. The fix starts with accepting one uncomfortable truth. Your expertise is actually your biggest obstacle when you communicate. The more you know about something, the harder you have to work to make it simple. Amazon has a well-known rule for internal proposals. Before any new initiative moves forward, someone has to explain it in a single sentence that a complete stranger would understand. Not a colleague in your department. Not your manager who already has context. A stranger on the street. If you can't pass that test, you don't understand your own idea well enough yet. Try this right now with whatever you're working on. Strip it to one sentence. Remove every technical term and kill every qualifier. What survives is your core message. Richard Feynman, one of the greatest physicists who ever lived, built his entire teaching method around this. If you can't explain something to a first-year student, you don't truly understand it yourself. Simplicity is not about dumbing things down. It's proof you've thought deeply enough to find the essence. When Steve Jobs introduced the iPod in 2001, he didn't mention gigabytes or storage architecture. He walked on stage and said 6 words, 1,000 songs in your pocket. Everyone in that room got it instantly. The secret to a powerful analogy is that it comes from the listener's world, not yours. If you're explaining cloud computing to a restaurant owner, don't mention distributed servers. Tell them it's like renting kitchen space instead of buying a whole building. If you're pitching a new workflow to your sales team, compare it to something they already do every single day. The brain doesn't learn in a vacuum. It learns by connecting unfamiliar ideas to things it already knows well. Your job as the communicator is to build that bridge before you ask anyone to cross it. Most people try to explain everything at once. They dump the entire picture on someone and hope enough of it sticks. It almost never does. Think about how Google Maps works when you open it. First you see the whole country. Then you zoom into your state, then your city, then your street. Great explainers structure ideas the exact same way. Start with the biggest, simplest version of your point using plain language. Then add one layer of detail. Then another. And at each layer, pause to check if the person is still with you before going any deeper. A surgeon explaining a procedure to a patient doesn't open with molecular biology. They say, "We're going to fix what's been causing your pain," and they build from there only as needed. Always give people the full view first. Details come second. Context beats completeness every time. Here's something most communicators completely skip. After you explain an idea, ask the other person to explain it back to you in their own words. Not as a quiz. As a partnership. When someone restates your idea, you instantly hear where the gaps are. You catch what actually landed and what got lost somewhere in translation. Managers at Pixar use this technique constantly during creative reviews. They don't just present and move on. They ask, "What did you hear me say?" It sounds almost too simple, but it transforms how information moves through a team. If someone teaches your idea back to you clearly, you've done your job. If they struggle, that's not their failure. That's your signal to simplify further, never to explain louder. Here's what I want you to do right now, before you close this video. Pick one idea you need to explain this week. Maybe it's a project update, a proposal, or a new strategy. Write it down in one sentence that a 12-year-old would understand. Then find one analogy from your listener's daily life that makes it click instantly. Practice saying the whole thing out loud in under 60 seconds. Clarity is not a talent some people are born with. It's a muscle you build every single time you choose simple over impressive. And the people who explain things clearly? They're the ones who get promoted, get funded, and get followed. Your ideas deserve to be understood. Start today. That's a wrap, thanks for watching. If this gave you one idea you can use today, hit like and subscribe. See you in the next one.